Hello. So, first of all, thank you very much for the opportunity. I cannot make marathons. I love to jog, but one thing architects get after a while is a hernia, which I have on my back. So I'm happy to do a marathon now. I never thought I would late in this time. Well, I'm here to present you some ideas that my office has been developing about tourism. And this is actually not a resort, not a hotel, but a master plan for a resort, which we developed about 6 years ago. We were approached by a friend of mine, an environmental lawyer who became a developer, and he wanted to do a different resort. Resort master planning actually is quite a problematic issue on the whole Mediterranean and the whole, let's say, the whole occupation of big spaces of land with golf resorts that often take more than 100 hectares of land, just with a lot of intense water production. And what we try to do here is to create a kind of a sustainable premise for a resort. So basically, this is a piece of land with about 50 hectares, about 80 kilometers outside of Lisbon. It's beautiful farmland overlooking a municipality, a small whitewashed, beautiful township with a castle on the profile. And here you see, you have an idea here of the size of the property as related to the size of the walled city nearby. And so we came with this premise to develop this project. The first thing we thought is that we wouldn't want to do the whole thing, because one of the things you get in resorts is this extensive repetition of the same typology of housing and the same idea. So we invited a series of friends to work with us. I mean, we developed the master plan with a certain premise, and then everybody contributed with different ideas. Landscape architects was João Nunes from PROAP, very interesting approach. And our premise was to keep the land productive. Let's say that our premise was to create, to maintain, let's say, an idea of agricultural production. So basically, as you look at to this master plan, you see a valley line, which has a plantation of about 8 hectares of wine, mostly Shiraz and Cabernet, if you care for the detail. And then there is a water basin in the end, and a clubhouse. This clubhouse, which functions as a kind of an anchor that later became a hotel, as a restaurant and spa and other things. So this is more the master plan is a finalized idea. So you see there's these 8 hectares across this valley line of vineyard planted, and then there is also olive oil. So you see the green dots are the olive oil plantation. And then we have the different houses which we created in the master plan as being encircled around a perimeter, and then we invited different architects to work within this perimeter. So these swastika-shaped houses are by Carrilho da Graça, an architect from Portugal. The other ones below, this like a boulevard, is by Peter Merkley. And then the other ones below to the lower part, the square ones are by José Paulo dos Santos. And the rest of them, and including the clubhouse, are by us. Oh, and in the upper part is by Surgison Bates from the UK. Also a very wonderful team of people. So this is just a rendering of how it looked. I think it's not all built now. It's built about 30%, 40% maybe, but it's pretty much looking as it is now. So we start from this premise of having this kind of productive land. So, but one of the things also that is terrible, I think, that in resort master planning, as you see, is that the developers try to maximize the perimeter of road. So the road will be divided by house after house after house after house. And here we tried with this idea of creating these clusters. They are in the high points, a little bit like the farmland places we call in Spain you call them fincas. In Portugal we call them montes. I don't know exactly how you have it in. I'm sure that in the Lebanese landscape there must be something of this kind of nature. But so we try to keep this idea of a kind of bucolic, productive landscape. As you see, it's not an asphalted property, and kind of respecting a certain idea of context, and making it potentially more interesting. There's this ludic area, which is a water basin. And then there is this idea of the clusters. We started by calling it community, but call it a vineyard community, where the houses would be around these patios, and it would not be this kind of privatized phalanstère, you know, where all these people are staying. So it would be a more communal space. It didn't turn out to be exactly like this, but it didn't turn out to be also the opposite. So I will show you some of how it became. There was this idea of this pool ring and this space as well. Not all of it was done, of course. The clubhouse that we designed, and which is called now Land Hotel because it became, for fiscal reasons, became a hotel, is basically a little iconic building that should spearhead the process. We start from the premise of a kind of a walled patio space. It's important in the landscape culture in Portugal. You see this walled in the countryside. This idea of marking a boundary, a white boundary around the house. In the landscape, you see usually to keep the cattle, etc. So we start from this premise of developing a building with a strong nucleuses that would sprawl to these patios, being also that some of these patios would be industrial patios, because after all, this is a wine cellar. It's a wine production center, which has a facility, which has a combination of a spa and a restaurant. So, but it still works its main function is the wine production for those 8 hectares. 8 hectares is actually a lot of wine. I mean, you don't imagine for one moment that these people that are, these 130 units, if people are drinking from those 8 hectares, they would be in Alcoholics Anonymous, I guarantee you, because it's a lot of wine. So, basically, these are the plans. So you see, it's a set of patios, of 5 patios, and one in the center is the industrial patio, where there is the wine production. Then there is a restaurant, and of course, you see here some of the sections. The high patios are, of course, for the wine cubes, stainless steel cubes. And the other patios are also shedding from a little bit of the wind, etc. And you still have these views towards the lake. So this is a little bit the idea from the wine barrel, and here the clubhouse, the pool, the indoor pool. And then there is a restaurant, which is now a 1-star Michelin restaurant, very nice. And here you see already some views from the place. This is an infinity pool overlooking the lake. I think it's a bit of a cliche in tourism, but it seems that people seem to like it. And here is the building. The building is sort of encrusted in the land. It starts from this idea also of a kind of a boulder that is fixed to the land, and it's interesting that its geometry offers different views. Sometimes it looks almost like it's sort of sliding in the landscape. Other times it is like it's encrusted. It's really fixed and grounded. On the other side, you see these townhouses, which I didn't really point them out in the master plan, and they are, let's say, the hotel. They have this trellis structure. I will go to them further ahead. So this is the view of the clubhouse overlooking the castle, and this is the landscaping by João Nunes, by ProApp. Some more details. There you see a view of the club, so you see here the different view from this is from the entrance view. You see the building is sort of marooned in the landscape from this side, and from this side it kind of raises. Night view. This is one of the patios and access to the hotel. And some details of interiors. This is, you see, the industrial patio. So you have an exposure to this wine production area, the restaurant, and then the spa stuff, you know, and indoor pool finalized, and the access to the pool. So here are the townhouses. Townhouses are these structures also sort of embedded in the landscape. We wanted to minimize road car traffic, so we only have one road. So the ones from the lowest part near the basin, they walk and they go down from the patios, and the other they go up from a little set of stairs. Some schemes of the houses, how they work. So patios on the above and below. Oh, sorry. Here you see the typologies. They have these sort of patios also to give some privacy. This is always this complex thing between real estate and tourism. It's a different issue. It's quite interesting how it. So here you see the patios to the back where you can go down from this side, and only one road access to both rows of the houses. And here the trellis, which we hope that we'll get all these vine plants above it. And this is, if you are in one of these townhouses, how it feels. Watching the views of the water, and here a view of the place. Some details of the spaces, and overlooking outside again. This is one of these cliches of tourism, you know. They have this, they wanted very much to have this open, the client was insisting on this idea of a sky view. Apparently a kind of a unique selling proposition for tourism. It's all about this. And basically that's it. So thank you.